Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Today, for your Monday, it's going to be Scarlett versus SpeCial in a grudge match here on Port Aleksander, the Ladder Edition. Bottom right-hand corner, blue Terran player SpeCial. Top left-hand corner is the red Zerg player Scarlett. All right, good times here had by all, and that last, man, that Scarlett versus SpeCial game that I posted last week was a doozy. If you didn't watch it, I'm not going to spoil anything, but it's worth watching, okay? Worth watching. It's just for a good example of how the new Nidus is used. I'm not going to tell you anything else about it, but Scarlett loves the new Nidus. It is apparent here, and we'll see what she does with it here, possibly in this, again, rematch between these two players from something I just posted last week. I'm going to try to do this a little bit more often, where if I post a game between two players, I'll try to repeat it, just so people can be like, I remember the game between these two players previously. Let's see if there's any revenge involved here, right? If maybe the loser is a little bit more motivated to win, can they come back and get something done? It's hard to beat the same player 2 times in a row, etc., etc. So, SpeCial, again, hailing from Mexico, really excellent player. He really took a step up in the last couple of years here, really dedicated himself to the game. He's been around for a long time, longer than I've been casting StarCraft, but was never somebody that you really paid attention to in premier tournaments, but now he is, without question, one of those guys. This Reaper's name is Spyro the Dragon. After being the star of a popular video game series, which was a large part of many childhoods, Spyro became the main characters in the game Skylanders, Spyro's Adventure. This was the first of a series that turned out to be hated by the people who loved the original Spyro, ignorant of the fact that Skylanders became a large part of a different generation's childhood. Undoubtedly, every Reaper drafted is one of those old folks and drafted Spyro. Partly because his new series is hated, but also partly because they don't need to pay for a jetpack or blasters because he is a dragon. A little bit of some convoluted logic there. I'm not sure what this is talking about entirely. I do know Spyro. I do know Skylanders. It is one of the more evil and diabolical toy selling methods in all of the world. In order to get a new game in the game, you have to buy an actual figure, an actual toy figure that is $10. It is microtransactions on steroids. My boys got it for Christmas one year. We didn't know what it was entirely, and we realized we made a huge mistake. But luckily, their uncle had a lot of these figures, and he'd had grown out of them, so he donated them to my kids, and they were very happy, and I was very happy, and thank you so much, my little brother, who's not watching this because he doesn't like StarCraft very much, which is kind of sad. All right, this Reaper, Spyro the Dragon, trying to get some stuff done, but was too busy scouting out for other stuff happening over here, looking for slow lings to come and try to kill him. And as a result, there's queens out and there's lings out, and Scarlett's third base is done, and she is feeling pretty strong here. She's looking good, the Canadian Zerg. Best player from Canada by far. I know I said that in the last cast, but by golly, is it ever true. Reaper says, until speedlings are done and stealth speed is done here, metabolic boost, I don't have to worry about much, especially if I'm off creep. We'll just try to keep these lings at home. I can expand all I want, start the wall a little bit later than I need to normally, and let the Hellion production speak for itself here. 2 Hellions, 4 Hellions. It's a 1-1-1 play. Few Marines here to deal with scouting overlords, I have to assume, and there's a Liberator. So no drop action here today. Just going to go for Liberator, Harass. Hellions trying to do stuff at the third base. It's not saturated, though, because he can't defend it yet. That is a smart play from Scarlett. Creep Tumor down. That did not get canceled. That Tumor got killed. And as a result, I have to lay down another one to get this creep going. Popping on up, trying to get inside the main, thinking better of it. Spyro does not want to die right now. All right, Spyro. Why are you leading the charge? There are so many queens there, and the speed is done. But Speedlings don't want to go out because there are Hellions defending, and this is just a beautiful setup right now from SpeCial. He's keeping Scarlett at home. The third base is saturated. There's only a queen to defend it. Just kidding. There are 5 queens to defend it. 5 queens to defend it. This is what you got to have. You got to have overlords in position to know where your opponent is at all times. Right? The overlord here means he knows when the Hellions cruise to the right side or the bottom side. The queens can get there because of creep spread and because of intel. That's what you got to have. Liberator set up, cruising on over. This is a pretty darn early Liberator, but there's already a Spore coming up down here in the bottom left. It's Scarlett scout this. Scarlett doesn't know any of the tech, but assumes a drop or something is coming. That Liberator actually set up in range of the Spore before it finished. and decided to head on out there. I mean, that's something you see sometimes is Terran players just blindly throwing up Liberators where, you know, locations where they're pretty happy with it and not checking for spores or anything before it sets up. It's a Shift Q command, which means you don't have to be there when it goes into defense or into, holy crap. Anyway, defender mode. Just defender mode, thank you. Hellions still trying to do stuff, but just too many queens. Too many queens on a ramp. That's a horrible place to be. Scarlett has not lost a single drone in this game, and in fact has lost a Zergling and a Creep Tumor thus far. And Overlord's going to be the first death, major death here of the game. Stractor going for all of her gases now. Wow. She's going for 3 base, all of the gas. What is she working on? She's going for a Baneling Nest. +1/+1, maybe a Ling Bane Hydra play, which is pretty darn gas heavy. Need all of it that she can get here. She's not fully saturating this extractor at her natural, which seems like a problem. But everything else is saturated just fine. I'm surprised. There we go. She got it. She realized what was happening. No big deal. No problem. And by Ling Bane Hydra, I mean there's not a Hydralisk Den on the way. So Ling Bane... Muta. Ling Bane Muta here. The Spire coming up at the natural base. Interesting strategy. I do love that Scarlett is okay going Ling Bane Muta against Terran. It's a strategy I'm fairly familiar with and something I'm pretty happy to play in macro games versus Terran too. But here comes the Liberator. Queen gonna get some free stabs off, and there's already a Spore here as well. Queen, get out. Get out of there. Drones, get out of there too. Engagement down. Hellbat transformation is here. Marines and tanks are here too. Liberator gets picked up, but this is a pretty scary Terran army showing on up. 2 tanks, Hellbats and Marines. Why are you heading home? Tumors down. Mission accomplished, boys. 3rd base, happily running. 9 drones killed there. And Hellbats, Marines, tanks continuing to push. This is a lot of Ling and Baneling, though, on creep. There's the surround on the backside. The Hellbats trying to get there to roast up these Zerglings, but blah! The Banelings say everybody dies. 1-1 wasn't even done yet for Scarlett there. She just handled that army like it were nothing. Army supply 48 to 34 right now. SpeCial, he didn't want to lose those. He didn't want to lose those Hellbats or those tanks. The Marines are fairly expendable here in this kind of mech strategy. But is he transitioning out? He's going medevacs now. Well, still getting upgrades for mech, so it seems like, and additional factories. So yeah, medevacs for the Hellbats, I suppose, but we're definitely not going into bio by any stretch. Centrifugal hooks coming in here at 3 seconds. And, oh, for the Thors, okay. So for the Thors, keep those alive, but there are 4 Mutalisks on the way right now. Scarlett at 7 minutes has 134 supply, 68 workers, and a 4th base coming up with additional gas here too. She has been so comfortable in this game. That said, SpeCial's been left alone too. His 3rd base has not been bothered whatsoever, I say, as Mutas dash on in there and try to get stuff done. Just kidding. Let's go for the main base where there are 2 Thors waiting. Maybe not the best place to be, Mutas. Yeah, that splash damage hurts. Engagement in the middle here. Hellion versus Queen. Queens are going to win that. I don't know why you guys are sticking around so much. Hellbats different. Hellions not so good. Transfuses and creep spreads all around. Scarlett could probably afford to expand up here too if she wanted. She is spending her money pretty well. Additional Mutas on the way, going for an infestation pit. And +1 flyer attack. And yeah, man, just going to be tanks and Hellions and Thors out of SpeCial until the end of time. He is meching it here, trying to mech it happen against Zerg. We'll see if he's victorious. There have been some mech attempts on the channel recently, and by golly, they have not gone well versus Zerg. But a couple queens go down. Nicely done there. Again, the Thors are much more mobile with their friendly medevacs to keep them alive. And Ling's trying to roll on in. There are a couple tanks. I don't know if there are enough tanks here, though. But the army comes back. Muta's flying on in here, too. They're going to get another, maybe. They're getting chased by the Liberators with their splash damage and the Thors with their splash damage. And Lings are here in the natural base trying to kill some of these SCVs. 7 have gone down so far. But the Hellions are roasting them up pretty effectively. But look at these Lings go. 1-1 Lings against SCVs are pretty good until they get cleaned out by said SCVs. SpeCial continuing to chase these Mutas. How many Mutas have died? 5 Mutas have been killed already. I don't think they paid for themselves yet. All they've really done is get shot at by stuff and try to kill some things and fail. Alright, so it is 16 Lings. It is +2 melee attack. Out of Scarlett, it's Blue Flame. It's 2/2 for the mech for special. It's Muta's getting a free barracks, and maybe another base for special here too. Yep, Scarlett is expanding up here near her main base for her 4th, but special's got a 4th already done, so he's keeping up economically. That's the thing about mech, is mech is a slow ramp up, but they can keep up economically pretty darn well. And recognizing the lack of Vikings, Scarlett says, let's drop on this. Let's drop on these guys. Sure, there are tanks on the ground, but they're useless against stuff coming at you from the air. So that is just a ton of Zerglings. Ooh, Adrenal Glands is on the way. Is she going to wait for that to finish and drop Lings inside the main base? That would be awesome. Barracks goes down. No more scouting for you. Obviously, Special didn't care too much about it because he was scouting with it. But yeah, check this out. Check this out. Check it out. Check it out. Check it out. Check it out. I have not seen a huge Ling Doom drop in many, many years. I am loving it. Coming on in and trying to get some stuff done. At the very least, forcing the army back. There's a Thor, kind of if you want it. Get out of there. That's a bad position. That's a choke. You Hellions. Oh, the Ling massacre. Meanwhile, showing up with Mutas up here at the 3rd base, trying to get stuff done. There are too many turrets and too many Thors. The Mutas get the heck on out of there. And Scarlett lifts up and loads out of the main base. The Blue Flame is done too. The Blue Flame. Ooh, but Liberators focusing down Overlords. Doing pretty well. Not great against killing Overlords, but great against killing Mutas, I can tell you that much. Man, poor Drop Lords. That was a little bit ill-fated. But that said, Scarlett has 5 bases. She has 74 workers. She can do whatever she wants at this stage, teching into Ultras, because why not? Ultras, Chitinous Plating, +3 melee attack. Adrenal Glands is done. The Banelings have huge upgrades, but Special's got a pretty big army here, man. You got tanks and Thors and Hellions and Liberators are a pretty good answer to Ultralisks, too. Here come the Ultras, but like I said, the Defender Mode circles are here, trying to focus down those Liberators. The Thors, maybe? What are you doing, Mutas? The Mutas are getting wrecked by the Thors. Oh my gosh, the Ultras getting destroyed here, pummeled, too. By the Thors, doing heavy damage here with their +2/+2. Thors getting wrecked. Banelings cruising on in, trying to do stuff. And it looks like reinforcements from Scarlett might be enough here to take out these Thors at the very least, but the Liberator's still doing terrible damage. Man, look at that micro. Look at that. Woo, Thor, Medevac, micro there out of Special. That was gorgeous. That was gorgeous stuff. So a bit of a standstill there. Bit of a stalemate between these two players. A lot of Ultras died. A lot of Thors died there too. It is 5 Ultras down and 4 Thors and 6 tanks and 6 Liberators out. Resources lost more for Scarlett, though. Those Mutas really hurt too. Muta count death. Muta death count 23. Special expanding again twice more. Really economically trying to put one over here on Scarlett. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bases. 6 bases right now. Scarlett's on 5. She is being out-macroed by this mech player, which is always so impressive to me when pros can do this. Alright, so some free SCVs there, not a big deal. We got a Hellbat, Blue Flame Hellbat set up here in Scarlett's 5th, but guess who's here? Ultralisks. Ultras do not care about your flames, man. They really don't. I'm sorry to be the one to tell you this. Scarlett is going for a greater Spire back home. Is Special ready for this is the question. Transformation servos on the way, allowing Hellbats and Thors and whatnot to transform into their new forms quicker than they otherwise would be able to just by default. Infestor's Anabolic Synthesis coming in, allowing the Ultras to move more quickly. Really, really nice. They get a... Okay, actually a speed bonus off creep. On creep, they move the same speed. But as creep bonus off creep is kind of nice there. A couple more drones go down to this Liberator. And she gets the heck on out of there. But yeah, man, Special relands his 6th. His 5th is happily up and running with a Planetary Fortress. Nothing really mining from it. And by that I mean 0 things are mining from it. Creep spread happening. Planetary Fortress is scouted out by some Zerglings, and summarily the Lings get burned to death. Liberator flying right through a clump of Overlords. I think it's probably been scouted, if I had to guess. Scarlett should know that it's here, and yet And yet, this is happening. I guess we're worried about the mass Thor in the middle of the map here. They're in anti-Broodlord mode, too. You can tell visually here by their configuration. This, by golly, 11 kill Liberator and escapes with her life. What a pilot. What a lucky, lucky pilot she is. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. Alright, so the Hellbats coming in. I was going to say die instantly, but no, absolutely not. They're still alive. Thank you very much. Lings on the Thors, Fungals on the Thors, so they can't retreat as quickly. That's pretty good stuff. Defender mode getting some shots down here too, though. And the Broodlords are present. Special, moving in and making 5 Vikings at a time to deal with the air threat that are these Broodlords. And everybody decides to head on home. They don't like what they see. The Ultra Ling Broodlord combo. Hard to deal with unless you have the Vikings. And he will soon. As well as going for a fusion core, which maybe battle cruisers might be interesting. I mean, they're good against both Broodlords and Ultras, and that neither of those things can shoot air units at all. Corruptors coming on in here too, I guess, to deal with the Liberators and the Vikings that are sure to be here. But yeah, this is a terrible position to come up that ramp right now. The Thors are focusing the Broodlords. One of them gets wrecked right now. We got a Liberator and Hellion setting up at Scarlett's 5th base, doing terrible damage. 14, 16, 18 drones have gone down. Is this the same pilot? No, it's not. It's a different Liberator pilot. She is dead, but she did some serious work for the Terran there. Transfuse on the 7th base. Scarlett is trying to get a 7th and an 8th base running right now, but there's a mech army right at the front door. I think that hatch is going to go down. There's no saving it at all, and Scarlett is in a heaping amount of trouble. The Vikings trying to pick off Broodlords. They do, while avoid getting shot in the face here by these Corruptors. I like both players are responding pretty correctly to what's going on here, but army supply 106, 108 to 72 for Special. He has a bigger, scarier army. He has a better economy right now, just by sheer number of effectively working bases he has. Blue Flame Hellions catching 12 more drones down there. It is 71 drones that have been killed. This is some really, really elite mech play out of Special right now. 71 drones killed. Well, these Blue Flame Hellions with their +3/+3 upgrades. If they change into Hellbats, they can take down hatcheries too. Is there going to be a transformation? Let's see it. There it is. It's so fast with that upgrade. And they're going to try to take down this building. I remember how surprised I was that Hellbats could kill buildings this fast, but I am not surprised anymore. It is definitely a good option. Banelings and Broodlords. Yeah, the Broodlords are going to be what's happening here. Hellbats are pretty darn terrible against them, but it brought the Broodlords out of position a little bit. I'm surprised Special didn't try to push and take advantage of that. But he's maxed out. 200 supply to 177. Scarlett is almost there. She's making Ultras, Infestors, getting +3 flyer attack, and Neural Parasite. Maybe trying to neural some of these Thor, some of these tanks. See what can be done. The Blue Flames attacking on into Scarlett's 3rd base, or 4th base rather. And pretty good against static defense. Not too shabby here. Corruptor here to defend against more Liberator attacks, which is nice. Hellions cruising on into the base in the top, this 8th base or 7th, whatever it is. Another Liberator dies, but more drones have been destroyed. 81 drones have gone down. 22 SCVs. Scarlett has been forced to replace those time and time again. She doesn't want to replace drones. She wants to make stuff with her larva. Oh man, the hatch goes down to a couple of tanks, not even in siege mode. Special expanding again to the north because why not? And we're not making battle cruisers, right? Nope. I guess just for increased defender mode range there. Advanced ballistics on the Liberators is all we're talking about. All right, well, big old mech army setting up here to the south at the 4th base. Scarlett's hatchery is in trouble. The tanks are set up in beautiful position, which is beautiful position there. The Broodlords are trying to show up, but they're going to be too late. The hatch is down. The drones are trying to hide as best as they can. Man, if they all end up dead, that'd be huge. The Broodlords are here, but I don't know that there are enough of them. Where are the Vikings? There they are. Vikings picking off one Broodlord. Thor's trying to fight. Viking trying to fight here too. The drones are getting massacred along that left side. flying on in. Parasitic Bomb being used on the Vikings very beautifully there. The Infestors getting focused down. All the Infestors are gone. 173 to 133 supply. I think that's going to be it for Scarlett. Too much mech, too much special here. Wiping out a base and winning that engagement overall. Army supply 101 to 83. Scarlett is trying to make Lings in response. Fully upgraded Cracklings, not bad against this 0 Hellbat composition. Just kidding. There is the one Hellbat composition. Overlords say, oh, there's a base over here too. That's really, really bad for us. Liberators trying, I mean, not even really needed at this stage. Actually, yes, let's set up and go somewhere, they say. Let's do it. Let's fly right past the Spore, take a couple shots. Set up here, set up here. Hellbats. Oh my gosh, the Lings. The Lings are no match for the Blue Flame Hellbats. 5 kills on that Liberator. 5 kills on that Liberator. Is it 106 drones have been massacred in this game by the mech army of SpeCial. SpeCial is playing this like a fiddle. It's 27,000 resources lost for him to 39 for Scarlett. 39. And his bases, I don't think he's lost a base. He has not lost a base in this game. 0 command centers have been killed. 0 planetaries. 0 orbital commands. Hellbats, again, versus static defense, not so good. The static defense isn't. Jeez. Those Lings die without even getting anything off. 0 things. I mean, I guess if they get a surround and they have spine crawlers helping, they're not bad. But I mean, Scarlett's down 190 to 169 supply. Lost that hatch, which was not so great for her. Lost another hatch, did replant it, which is cool. But here comes SpeCial. He's got 1,000,000 Vikings. He has 28 Vikings. And I just don't know there's enough anti-air here. The Corruptor Ball is fine, but Parasitic Bomb being used. Fungal's getting tossed down as well. Great split on the Vikings. Parasitic Bomb not as effective as it otherwise could be. Everybody on the ground for SpeCial is getting wiped out, but all the Broodlords are going to die here for sure. The Corruptors weren't able to kill the Vikings fast enough. Look at them taking down the Corruptors before they even go after the Broodlords here. What a weird situation that is. Not usual to what you see here. The Broodlords are all gone. It's 181 to 105 supply, and that's your good game. SpeCial is your winner in 22 minutes and 10 seconds. Good game for SpeCial. Getting the win, getting the revenge over Scarlett. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. What a match. What a match for Sir. That was some of the best mech I've seen in a very long time out of SpeCial. 377 Lings died, 109 drones. That's a lot of dead stuff. 18 Broodlords, too. I didn't realize Scarlett had made that many Broodlords. 19 Corruptors, 11 Ultras. Every Tier 3 thing she tried to throw at SpeCial, he had the answer for it. That's the thing about Mech Man. They will win head-to-head battles, but what you got to do is be able to do enough damage that they can't just keep pushing, remax, and then wipe out their army, and then go for the win. But SpeCial was doing too much damage. He was taking out bases. He was dealing just huge amounts of, I don't want to say damage, but huge amounts of just effectiveness in taking out Scarlett's workers there at the end and throughout the game. 24 Vikings died, 14 Thors, 15 tanks. But, I mean, it's not a huge number of anything here, really. 35 Hellbats and 45 Hellions is just your mineral dump. They're more effective than just mineral dumps, though. They were, again, really a major factor in why SpeCial won this game. And that 51,000 resources lost for SpeCial, or Scarlett, rather, to 34 for SpeCial was a huge deal, too. Good stuff. Good stuff from these guys. What a great Monday. What a great Monday match. But that's going to be it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Go ahead and hit that like button. Hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch. All at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.